Hey everybody, glad to have you here for a pregnancy vlog. I'm sorry it feels like it's been such a long time since the last one that I did, and there's definitely been a lot of changes. I feel like I went through this long span of the pregnancy where everything just kind of stayed the same, and you know, that's good. I'm all for uneventful and unexciting when it comes to pregnancy, but once you really get into that third trimester time, some things come back. Some certain things that maybe you dealt with in the first trimester, I feel like kind of circle back around. So this vlog is going to cover weeks like 28 through 32. On the day that I'm sitting here shooting this, on Thursday, I just hit 32 weeks. So there have been a couple of doctor's appointments that I'll talk about, including the glucose test and all that stuff. But overall, I was just kind of taking some notes last night on my phone, like things that I've noticed changing in this third trimester. And I am feeling even more movement than I remember with the first pregnancy with Belle. I just feel like the baby has been exceptionally active, and I notice more like in response to my voice sometimes. Like if all have been kind of quiet and then let's say Belle and I start reading a book or something, I feel the kicks start then. Or let's say I'm sitting on the couch and I just kind of shift, you know, the side I'm leaning on a little bit, and I'll notice an immediate kind of reaction to that. So maybe I'm just really looking for it this time around, but I feel like there's a lot of responses to whatever I'm doing coming from the womb. The biggie for me is the fact that fatigue is back. That was something that I had a lot in the first trimester, just feeling so tired, and it's really there now. Some nights I do fall asleep like right after Belle goes to bed. I just want to lay on the couch and just close my eyes. And I hit some tired points in the day that I kind of have no choice but to power through, like around 11 o'clock for whatever reason. I start to feel very tired then. And then kind of as those early evening hours roll around, you know, Bub's not quite home from work yet, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired now. Part of this too is I'm still waking up early. You know, waking up early has just really become part of my routine. I get up around 5 a.m. every day, and really the need to pee gets me out of bed for sure, you know, around that time. But these early morning hours are just when I can get the bulk of my work done. I get a lot of videos shot during this time. I get a lot of editing done and that type of thing. So it just, you know, that's kind of what needs to happen right now. I'm feeling some occasional heartburn. It's definitely been worse this time around than it was with Belle. The old wives' tale is that you'll have a hairy baby when they come out if you're dealing with a lot of heartburn. Belle did have a decent amount of hair when she was born, but I've noticed it more like in the evenings. Not every night, but a lot of times I will have this feeling, and I never have that really outside of pregnancy, so it's really weird for me. Another just kind of interesting tidbit is that I feel like my bump is growing even more outward. Like as I stand head on in front of a mirror, I actually feel like my waist almost appears to be a little smaller than it might normally be. This is really weird, but then you turn sideways and oh, there's all the growth, and it's all just kind of feeling like it's going straight out even more than it was the last pregnancy. I am having more discomfort, I guess, sleeping or just adjusting my position, but tiredness usually just wins out. You know, I don't spend a whole lot of time tossing and turning, and I know you can use the pregnancy pillows and stuff like that, but I feel like I want to move myself around even more sometimes than that allows. But I do like a pillow between my knees because it just helps my hips feel better. Usually up once in the night, every night to pee at some point. Just gotta happen. And I'm going to the bathroom a lot during the day too, because the thirst is crazy. I'm wanting water all the dang time, and that's pretty much the main thing that I drink. I'll occasionally feel like some juice or some lemonade or something, you know, cold and sweet like that, but generally speaking, it's water. I think I am even more emotional than usual. I'm generally a pretty emotionally responsive person, but just certain commercials are setting me off. The Quaker Oats commercial, you guys, where the girl goes from like being a little girl and then she goes through these phases of life. She's in college, she's getting married, she's got this little baby, and she ends up feeding her the Quaker Oats by the end, and I'm like, oh, that really gets me whenever I see it. Just certain songs, maybe a little more moody than usual, and I don't know, that may be tied to just the tiredness here and there, but I think Bub's been the recipient of some of that at times, and I don't know if moody's the right word or just extra emotional, just a little over the top emotion-wise, but I mean, come on, it comes with the territory. In terms of what I've been craving, I want wheat thins. I love Wheat Thins. Always liked Wheat Thins, but now I really love Wheat Thins. Apples. Bella's been eating a lot of apples lately, and the crunch, the juiciness, the sweetness, the coldness of that really appeals to me. And then just Mexican food in general, which I really don't think is anything specific to pregnancy, because you could offer me nachos or a cheesy gordita crunch any day of the week and I would say thank you. Cupcake has been wanting to hang around with me a lot more than usual. I mean, she's always kind of like my little buddy, but she really seems to want that attachment now. Like, Belle goes down for a nap and I'm sitting on the couch doing some work on my computer and she wants to get up next to me, or in the evenings, whenever she sees a window, it's like she's keenly aware of it. But those are just some of the notable changes and things that I could come up with as I was thinking through this last night. In terms of doctor appointments, I did have the 28-week glucose test. Basically, the way that works, you go in, you drink a sugary, sweet beverage. I think the first time I did it, it was orange, and this time it was tasted like fruit punch. It was red, and it was a little harder to stomach than I remember, but I really, as a whole, it's not that bad, you know? And then you wait an hour and have your blood drawn. And so during that time, they give you a little video to watch about epidurals. And I already knew that I would be signing myself up for the epidural. Definitely enjoyed that from the first pregnancy. But we sit down in this room and the lady's like getting the remote out and getting everything set up, and Belle goes, "Watch Tiana." They got a real kick out of that. But that whole glucose test experience after the hour and the blood draw was followed by a doctor's appointment with my doctor, and I was able to find out then that I passed. He said I passed with flying colors. Not anemic either, so that was good. And at that appointment it was really sweet because he was doing the Doppler to pick up baby's heartbeat, and he gave the little device to Tyler to hold so Belle could push the button that would let us hear the heartbeat as the doctor was kind of moving the thing around my belly, and she got a real kick out of that. Like, I mean, we were talking about the button for a long time after that, and baby tummy, and Belle just loves talking about all this doctor stuff. And I'll ask her, like, what does baby's heart sound like? And she'll go, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. And then I had an appointment last week. I think it was technically supposed to be a 30-week appointment, but on that particular day, I had just switched over to 31 weeks, and I got to meet a new doctor. And this is just in case my doctor, you know, is for some reason unavailable at the time I'm giving birth. I will have a clue as to who the other person is, and we love him as well. He's just fantastic. But that appointment really didn't have anything special tied to it. You know, just checking baby's heartbeat, asking me if I've been bleeding or cramping or having any unusual issues. But I am just so super grateful that these appointments have kind of come and gone. We've gone through some of these different milestones and things have been seeming to be really well, and the baby seems to be healthy and good in there. Still to come, we've got holidays coming up. So we've got Thanksgiving and Christmas before the baby's due date, which is January 12th. I think I threw this out there before, and I'm sorry to leave anybody in suspense, but we weren't really sure how we wanted to do the baby name thing this time. Like, do we want to do a reveal or save it till she's born? I don't know. We're kind of like so excited about it. We really do want to share it, so I think we are going to reveal it ahead of time. So that'll be coming soon, either on this channel or the main channel. I'm not sure which. I'm planning to be doing the Emily Awards before January, because once that all hits, you know, I mean, it's going to be a whole new world for me. A whole new world. I am going to be doing some nursery reorganization, some more clothes sorting. I've been saving like all of Belle's clothes, of course. They're in tubs and they're labeled, but she's moved out of some sizes and I need to get a little bit more organized in there, because really what I've realized, nurseries are kind of overrated. You know, we did the full-on nursery and everything that needs to be in a nursery with Belle, and the amount of time we spent in there during the newborn phase was so minimal. I mean, we had the glider in there and the crib and the changing table, and a lot of this depends on the layout of your house. And, you know, that was upstairs. We were downstairs, and there was so much time just spent with her downstairs and with her sleeping downstairs in different things like the rock and play and this and that. So right now what I'm looking at the nursery as being is sort of a combined room for storage of baby stuff and Belle stuff. There's plenty of room in there in drawers and lots of closet space, and just kind of make it a little shared, youngster space, and eventually I think they will become roomies. We're lucky to have the space to spread them out a little bit more if we choose, but I just think we're gonna take it as it comes. We know the new baby will be spending a decent amount of time like downstairs with us at nighttime, but I think having a shared space with a sister is great. That was the way it was like with me and my sister. It's kind of what I know, and I know it can be just a wonderful thing. But in terms of Belle and talking about all this, I'm not really saying there's a good way that we've been preparing her for what's going to happen, just like I can't really even hardly prepare myself for the thought of having 2 kids. But we've just been talking about it a lot, saying baby's name a lot, taking Belle to all these appointments so she can really like take in what's going on, and just making it as familiar of a thing as possible, even though I know it's going to seem very foreign to have like this, what's this other baby here taking all your attention? But she's a talker. She likes to discuss. She likes to, you know, point out all babies in the books, and, you know, I just use those opportunities to tell her about, you know, the baby sister she's going to have. And we've just been soaking up all the individual time that we can get with her, really. She's back to her Wiggles and Tunes class on Mondays, and she really likes that. It's sort of like a music type class for kids her age. They just have different songs and different things that go along with them, whether it be like a little musical instrument or a little dance. She's been going to that for a long time, and the teacher went on maternity leave herself for a little while, and so that started back up, and we love that. I've also been taking her to story hour at the library, which is like, I love story hour. I personally like look forward to story hour so much. It's such a neat thing that our library does, where there's stories and songs and that sort of thing, and then they take them into a different room and they work on a little craft, like something that applies to what the topic of the week was, and they give them a snack, and it's just the nicest little thing for an hour. And it's kids ages infant to 5 years old are welcome to come, and I see a lot of moms there who have like maybe a toddler and a very new baby that they're kind of sitting back with, and it's just the sweetest thing. I would encourage anybody, you know, look into what your library offers, because that's free to those of us who live in the town where the library is. So look into that where you live. I sometimes Snapchat about that, and I've had a lot of questions. I found out through Facebook that there were these weekly story hours happening, and I'm like, yes, let's go. And I think it's just really good, especially when it's me home with her a lot, and it just helps her get out and see like, oh, all these other kids, and taking instruction from a different person who's not mommy. So having these different teachers, and she's still in her gymnastics thing too, which just allows her to run around and get a ton of energy out. And Bub's taken her the last couple of times because, like I said, pregnant mama getting out of the foam pit is a little bit tricky. I'll probably still be back there too, but he's just kind of taken her as his schedule has allowed. It's an evening thing. And this past week, I was really wanting to take her, and I texted him. I was like, you know, if you run into something at work, I can go ahead and take her. And he's like, actually, I was really looking forward to taking her. So we love the gymnastics class as well. But anyway, I gotta wrap this up because I'm out of memory card. I just shot a really long video before this, so we're gonna leave it there. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.